In the modern world, social media surrounds us every day. Everyone is connected, forming communities of people from all around the world that wouldn't have been able to meet until now. But stepping away from Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Tumblr, we have this site, a site that was specifically made for uploading and sharing videos. In its almost decade of existence, a lot has changed on the site. But how much has changed for the content creators themselves? Community on YouTube is a great thing as it allows for individuals with different hobbies, different backgrounds, different production styles and different video qualities to come together and unite under one or more particular interest. As of recording this clip in the video, I have 177 YouTube subscribers, which for just over a year of making videos, I'd say that's a pretty good figure to have. But gaining this following hasn't been as easy as you may think, and there have been a lot of tactics I've had to use to gain both fans and friends. Today I hope to investigate the link between community and success on YouTube and what people think of the YouTube community as a whole. But it's not just my opinions that matter, and because of this I reached out to you to see what you think. So let's see, what is community? If you didn't already know, I've been on YouTube since about 2008 when I was making short LEGO stop motion animations. Oh, weren't they special. Now since I joined YouTube all those years ago, I've never really been involved in a YouTube community. Sure, at each point of my journey there have been people that I've looked up to and people I've respected and other people I might have had a one-off conversation with, but I've never really been involved in a community. Now I don't know if it's just the vlogging and filmmaking community that's a lot more welcoming of others, but from what I found from doing BobCorp, this is kind of the thing. In media, there are very few communities that are open to absolutely everybody. The actual television production industry, for example, is only open really to the people that work and operate within that industry. It's not really a community-based thing anyway. It's the same with film and graphic design and marketing, with very few opportunities where the general public can become involved with that sort of thing. However, YouTube offers a brand new sort of platform for people to get involved with others, and even if you don't actually make videos yourself, you can still get involved with video makers and video watchers alike, sharing ideas in the comments box or actually becoming involved in a video yourself. It sort of presents you with the ability to talk to your idols and your inspirations in a much more down-to-earth way than trying to go out there and have a chat with, I don't know, Simon Pegg or Steven Spielberg. To me, I define the YouTube community as when a group of people can come together all having a similar interest, that being YouTube, and have decided to find others with a similar set of interests to make friends and make videos. Obviously there are many people within the YouTube community that don't actually make videos themselves, but are still heavily involved with watching and taking part in the videos of others. This can be taking part in the video in person, or just being someone who returns to the channel every time a video is posted to leave a nice friendly comment. But how else can you define community?
In terms of me, I didn't want just people that I spoke to on the internet. I wanted people that I could go out and meet. You know, we could go and do things together, sort of make great content together. I've done a few collabs on my channel. You know, you sort of build that friendship while you sort of at your early stages, and then it sort of evolves when you sort of grow together. So you feel like you've been on a journey together, and you feel like you've sort of gone through thick and thin and all that sort of stuff. So basically for me, a community is basically like a family. So that's a bit strange to say, I know.
For me, community means something that you can be part of doing the same thing, whether it's filmmaking, vlogging, or different things outside of YouTube. I think community is just somewhere where you can actually feel like you're part of a family, or somewhere where you can actually feel like you belong there.
I define the YouTube community as a group of people working cooperatively to grow their channels and to be happy with the content that they're creating.
I think the best way for me to define the YouTube community is the niches. These niches, you know, when it comes to the YouTube community, I would say, you know, like gaming, animation, vloggers, musicians, I think I already said gamers, but you know, it's these particular niches that define the YouTube community, because you know, you've got people that are making all this content and everything, and it's constantly coming out and everything. And if it wasn't for the niches, and it wasn't for the people being interactive in the niches and posting and stuff, you wouldn't necessarily have a community as well.
The YouTube community offers us many things, whether that's a collaboration opportunity or just friends to watch. There is a great bond of people sharing and discussing ideas, advising others on how you can make a video better and how they can improve their techniques. Whether you have just one person saying they enjoyed your sketch or someone else saying that they think you can use this technique to improve the lighting of your videos, the ability to share ideas with other people on this site is something that this community thrives on. But it's not just discussions on the internet that affect us, as depending on who you befriend, there are many gatherings and events that you can go to see the people that you talk online with. Whether that's a large annual gathering such as Comic-Con or Summer in the City, or just a small gathering in a park, the community really does prove strong from people coming together for events like these. I recently attended a couple of events in London to celebrate some people's birthdays, and whilst I was there I met even more people of whom I've actually stayed in contact with. Commenting on videos is great, as it means that you're actually being acknowledged by the creator. But meeting them in person at an event is a great thing, as it really does allow you to break the boundaries of the comment box and have a half-decent conversation with them.
I think the best thing about the YouTube community is the differentiation of content that we have on here. There are small YouTubers who have things to say and messages and cool things that they can say to their viewers on like a friend kind of basis, and there's also big YouTubers who can be role models to viewers and also have just as important things to say, but maybe on different subjects of the same topic.
For me, one of the best things about the YouTuber community is that it feels like one big in-joke. Because although the mainstream media have now worked out who Tyler Oakley is, the rest of us are all pretty much under the radar. It's just an odd little hobby to have, a nice little addition to the CV, as long as your videos are safe for work. Which mine maybe are not the best advert for future employers.
It's very cooperative, and we help one another to become better at what we do, and we criticize each other and give tips to each other to become better at what we do and improve our skills.
My favourite thing about the YouTube community is how everybody is supportive of each other. So if I had an idea for a YouTube video and I wasn't really sure how good this idea is, but I kind of wanted to do it, but I wanted more opinions on it, I could easily go to any one of my YouTube friends and be like, right, so I have this idea. This is my idea. I want to do this idea. I don't know if I should do this idea because blah, 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 but I do want to do this idea because blah, 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 and then I'll get like honest feedback on it.
It's just like people can be friends no matter what they're interested in, so they could like gaming and then like vlogging, but they could just come together just to be friends, which is just the best thing ever, really.
It's commonly thought that in order to be part of a community you all need to be in the exact same place. Think in terms of your local village community group. Everyone knows each other and talks to each other because they all exist within the same area, discussing the litter outside the corner shop and the bloody chavs round the back of the library with no actual intention to read. Yeah, them lot. However, online communities are popping up all over the place nowadays, proving that the geography issue really isn't prominent whatsoever. Different people will refer to their fans by different names. Dan and Phil use the term fans, that's with a PH because it blends both Dan and Phil's names. Creative, right? Teamaker Jason uses the term teabags, Phil and Ree use friendlings, Omewrecker uses omies, and I myself use the term loyal fan base. But a community can be more than just one person's fans. Because of YouTube, I know a lot more people than I did before I started, obviously. But my main group of YouTube friends aren't specifically referred to as one title. We aren't the lads on tour, nor are we the super rad awesome group, although we really should be. We're just a community. On YouTube, different video makers have different communities of friends which people can look up to. One of the groups that I really look up to are the group associated with Tomscar, such as Ben Cook, Jack Howard, Hazel Hayes maybe, Chloe Dungate, Jamie Spicer Lewis, Daniel J. Layton, etc. And many, many, many more. Maybe someday someone will look up to me and my community and aspire to be like us. No. Of the 177 subscribers that I do have, I do know a fair amount of them. Jack, Sean, Aaron, Emmy, Mike, Phil and Ree, Naomi, my nan, etc, etc. But that's how I've gained such an audience, just by talking to people and befriending them. By providing people with feedback and leaving them comments that are useful without being obnoxious, they might check you out too, and who knows, maybe you can start a community just from that. When commenting on a video, offer actual advice, not just great video, as people are always looking for bold and creative ideas that they can gain from their followers. You don't have to suggest something amazing, even like say, oh, you could put that in the background, that'd make it much more interesting. That's the kind of thing that people will look for and like gain something from. And it's not just speak to people until they've subscribed. Stay in contact, because in the vast amount of people that is YouTube, you're gonna want a friend or two, or 10, or 30.
I mean, as I say, 1,930 subscribers. Oddly enough, I actually have a feeling that a lot of those people are dead. Not dead like actually dead, but just like they're dead. They don't talk to me or anything like that. Like, they're there, but they probably just, you know, aren't engaging with me.
A few of my friends from real life do subscribe to Tiny Bag, and they're very supportive, and that's really lovely of them. But there are also a few people on YouTube who comment on every single video, and I feel like we're friends now. We need to be actual friends. I mean, geography is keeping us apart, but one day we shall all be in a room together and have a big group hug. So yes, I do form relationships with my subscribers. Not in that way. I haven't got married to anybody yet, but also no one's tried to kill me as people that I've met in real life. So, you know, I think we're doing well there.
I know one or two personally. I know several more that I talk to actually quite frequently. There's several that I talk to a lot.
Pretty much all of them. We're quite
really?
lucky. Yeah, we're pretty.
I would say I know less than a third.
No, we're quite lucky because a lot of ours come from gigs, so it's all people we meet at gigs when we do the band roll. So.
He knows a lot. I know less than a third of my
You're a bad
subscribers.
YouTuber.
Yeah.
Personally, I know almost every single one of the subscribers on my music channel, at least to some degree. Not all of them I talk to regularly, but I do kind of know them. I don't know, maybe it's because I've never like played into what's popular, or, you know, based things around tentpole trends, or catered to all the different SEO tricks and all the little technical fiddly widdly details. But for some reason, my kind of search and discovery thing has never been very good. I've never really optimized that, and people, like random people, don't tend to find me that often. Like if I get comments on my videos or things like that, it's from someone that I know 9 times out of 10.
I know most of them through Twitter. I don't frequently talk to many of them, but I do know of most of them, and I consider them all to be friends.
As I've said, a large part of my audience are people that I know, but in order to actually know them in the first place, I needed to start talking to them. In December 2014, I gave up on the idea that people are eventually just gonna somehow miraculously find my channel and think, oh, that guy's cool, I'll subscribe to him. Because there are so many people on this website that are doing that chances are you're not going to get discovered. Because of this, I decided to start hunting out for smaller YouTubers like myself that made similar content. Obviously, I'd been commenting on larger YouTubers' channels in hopes that people would notice me, but obviously other people have probably done this too, which is why I decided to start clicking on other people to see what they offered. If I remember correctly, it was around Christmas time, and on a Daniel J. Layton video, I was looking at the comments. Now, one channel that particularly stood out to me was from the channel Phil and Ree's Excellent Adventures. Now, the name I thought was rather funny, so I clicked on the channel to see what they offered. Looking through their videos, I started liking what they'd done and put a comment saying that I liked it. Well, actually I only put the word grand, but it was a nice enough thing for them to actually come over to my channel and see what I offered as well, leaving some comments on some of my videos. We started talking, and then we both sort of subscribed to each other's channels, and from there, they're probably the first people I've actually befriended on YouTube. Looking through their comments, I found many more people as well, such as Aaron T. Hastings, someone who I've stayed in contact with, and from there I found people like Jack, and Sean, and Emmy, and Connor, and other Aaron, and Gio, and Mike, and Francis. So many more people that I wouldn't have known if I hadn't started checking out other people's channels myself, instead of just hoping that people would come and see me. I personally don't think that you can make it on YouTube without knowing or talking to anybody, and that if you're really looking to become a successful YouTuber, you're going to want to find a community. Now, that doesn't have to be a following of a large or bigger YouTuber than yourself, but just a group of friends that share a similar interest usually works quite well.
To be a successful YouTuber, you do not need to be a part of a community. Although it does help, I'm pretty sure the content you're making and your personality alone should be what makes you you, and not your friends and the people that surround you. Of course it's nice to see your favourite YouTuber hanging out with someone else, and then you go subscribe to that person, and you will know them because they're in a community and they help each other out, but I don't feel like that is what defines a channel.
It is so needed. You cannot work by yourself without the support of people who love and admire your work and can give you tips to improve your content and improve your skills of talking and hand gesturing and everything. So you do need to become one.
Yes and no. I think in terms of being part of a community, I reckon it helps a lot more. So you obviously got people to bounce off, you've got people to collaborate with, you know, people to do meetups with, you know, all that sort of stuff. It makes it more fun. For me personally, that's what I do. You know, I go out and travel with other people and, you know, other YouTubers that I don't necessarily want to collaborate with, but we could possibly go out and, you know, travel different places. If you were a really sort of talented, hilariously funny person, you could do it all on your own. Eventually you'll need to meet other people, obviously, to make you feel like more engaged and more relatable to the people, but in terms of that, I reckon, yeah, you could do it on your own, you could do it as a community. It wouldn't make much difference, to be fair, but it is more fun with other people around you.
Yes, you do need to be part of a community to be successful, because you kind of need this community to know, like, if your craft is going really good, or is there any way you can improve it. But at the same time, I personally think that you don't necessarily have to be part of the community, because in order to be successful in YouTube, I think you just need to work really hard for it and make sure that everything you put out there is like 110%.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. Like, you can't just do YouTube on your own and expect to be something that you can't amount to. Like, it's this idea that you can amount to something bigger by your own. You really can't. If you really want to get out there, I suggest making friends with a lot of people and get the opportunity to make videos with them if you want to. It could be pretty much when you like challenge videos or just down to earth talking kind of stuff. Something that you two can relate to and then other people can relate to from that. It's just simple, I guess.
For me, one of the main reasons I do YouTube is to meet people and to make friends and to be happier, which is what it's done, for certain, without a doubt. I wouldn't doubt that for even a split second. But if I didn't share my videos around and make more friends and do this and do that, then I wouldn't have as much success on YouTube as I do.
There are quite a few people that I know that want to go on to do YouTube either part-time or full-time, actually earning money from producing videos. I myself want to go on to embrace a bigger audience in the television and film industries, but YouTube is still a great tool to use to get your foot in the door and show potential employers or even just fans the kind of skills and talents that you have when it comes to producing a video. Your YouTube audience can really shape the type of content that you produce. You're very unlikely to go out and make a fully budgeted short film with a complete cast and crew when you only have 8 subscribers, as to be quite fair, hardly anyone is going to watch that. Not because you're not good at making videos, but because you just don't have the audience to watch it. When you want to do YouTube even semi-professionally, I think that the viewers and subscribers you have really does sort of impact the type of content that you can produce. We all start off small. No one opens an account and within one day they are the next PewDiePie. We all have to build our way up from the bottom in terms of followers and fans from the ground. Some people do it solely through content and other people do it by just releasing a video every now and then, but because they talk to people and they actually get involved in the community, they can really begin to gain a big audience. There's always going to be the argument of relevance with this, the matter that in order to be successful, you need to produce specific types of content that will appeal to a generic audience. And this next little rant is probably going to cause a little bit of hate. Now, I don't want to offend anyone whatsoever, but I feel that it's important to stress that it doesn't always work in the way that you want it to. As you've probably noticed if you've been on this channel for a while now, I absolutely hate doing tag videos. I don't really feel that you can get much out of it. You're really limited in the amount of things that you can say just sitting in your bedroom answering questions. Because sitting and answering questions isn't really going to bring in you the amount of audience that you actually want to go for. Unless of course you fit the generic standard appearance that the generic audience is looking for. And that's what really annoys me. Some people will spend months and months and months researching and writing something for it to be as pristine and perfect as possible. And then someone with nice hair and a six-pack can sit in front of some goddamn fairy lights and produce a video that way, and that'll get millions of views, not because their content is good, but because they actually look nice to the generic audience. Ridgewell, Wright and Tarantino didn't make it up there by doing videos about their partner and then doing a tag video and then doing their makeup. They went out there and they did something creative that stood out to everyone else. They went out and did something exciting that would impact their audience more than just a comment on a video like, haha, I like your video, great channel. Sure, times have changed, but if you spend all of your time on YouTube worrying about whether you're staying relevant, you're going to spend so much time worrying and being distressed and annoyed at it than actually having fun like you're supposed to be. As Sammy Paul said, numbers for the sake of number is only going to leave you hungry. So actually going out and having fun is a good thing to do on this thing. Don't get me wrong, some people could take a tag video and turn it into something really inventive and creative that has not been done by any other creator before whatsoever, and if that's you, congratulations, I really like what you're doing. But if you're just sitting in front of some fairy lights in your bedroom answering questions with the intention to get famous and become an internet celebrity, then you're doing everything completely wrong. Whew. I think when asked the question of whether the numbers really do matter, it really comes down to what type of videos you wish to create. I didn't start by making fully scripted documentaries, I started by making 15-minute vlogs with very few jump cuts and uninteresting content and copyrighted music. But now that I have a good-sized audience, I feel much more comfortable to be experimental with the videos that I produce. I can choose a title that sounds interesting and creative and idiosyncratic, not something that just describes what's going on in the video, like London Vlog or Let's Build a Bookshelf. I think if you're just doing YouTube for fun, then the numbers don't really matter that much. But if you're using it to broadcast yourself and show the world your skills and your talents, then you should really be aiming for a bigger audience.
I've never paid any attention. I mean, I just post the occasional video that amuses me. I don't really care if I have subscribers or not. I'm not into that type of thing, so to me it doesn't matter.
I do think it is quite important, but it is certainly never, ever, ever a deciding factor whether I watch a YouTuber or not, or whether I'm friends with a YouTuber or not. I don't decide who I want to watch or who I want to be friends with on YouTube because of their subscriber count. And I never have, and I don't feel like I ever would do that.
I think it depends what you want out of YouTube. If you want a large audience to share the things that you've created with, then subscribers will be important. For example, if you're a musician, you're gonna want your music to get out to as many people as possible. Whereas if you're making videos just for the fun of it, it might not matter as much to you. I think no matter what you put on YouTube, an audience will inevitably find you.
No, as long as I'm having fun and enjoying what I'm doing, so it's not important for me. But I don't mind the increasement of my subscribers on my channel. That would be cool.
It's not the most important thing, because I feel like more important would be that you're having fun with it, first of all, because it's a very fun thing, and if you're not enjoying it, then why are you doing it? And also would be more than the number of subscribers would be the dedication of the subscribers. So I think it's more important, I think, to have a dedicated subscriber base than it is to have a lot of subscribers. Because if you have a lot but they're not watching, then you're not reaching that audience that you want to be reaching.
Whether the number of subscribers you have is important, again, is entirely dependent on you as a person, really. Because if you want to look at YouTube, again, from a business kind of standpoint, subscribers are considered imperative. If you look in like the YouTube creator playbook thing, or whatever it is that it calls it, where it gives you like top tips on how to be a quality YouTuber and get lots of attention and subscribers, they kind of define subscribers as the people who watch your content and engage with your content enough to want to come back time and time again. And because YouTube's algorithms are now predicated on watch time rather than views or whatever, then they assume that the people who subscribe to your channel are going to be the people who watch you more often and for longer, and so they prioritize people with the higher numbers of subscribers. Also from like a psychological standpoint, like you probably don't even realize that you do it, but kind of subconsciously, if you see that someone has a large number of subscribers, you're likely to be drawn to them. Like, oh look, they have a large following, they have a large kind of cultural standing, let's have a look at who they are and what they do. Whereas this person has 28 subscribers, they're probably shit.
It can be hard for individuals to get involved in communities when they don't know how. And you don't have any friends that think that YouTube is interesting, or don't see why Mr. Weeble or the Fradocrats or BobCorp is such a cool channel, then it can be quite hard to find a starting point. I fortunately lucked out with Phil and Ree commenting on a Daniel J. Layton video, but for other people it can be very, very hard to meet new folks. So how do you go about doing this? How do you make yourself known in a community that don't find your obsession with C-Nanas or Hazel Hayes to be completely weird? Well, my top tip is to just comment on other people's videos. Start with a fairly big YouTuber, not someone that's so big that your comment will be lost, but someone who's up there and has a significant audience already. I chose Daniel J. Layton or Scarf Demon, for example. Browse their comments, look for smaller channels and see who you can discover. If you like their content, leave a message for them. Check back from time to time and leave more messages. Just don't be obnoxious and maybe they'll actually get back to you and say that they like your stuff as well. Obviously this isn't always the case and obviously not everyone will come and check out your channel as well, but at least it shows that you're putting in the effort to go out and try to start a conversation with somebody. Sometimes without making videos yourself, it can be very hard to get involved in a community as the creators on the other end have no idea who you are. The best way to combat this, I've found, is to see if you can talk to them elsewhere. I mean, see if they have a Twitter and start a conversation on there. Follow them on Instagram or Tumblr or Snapchat, or just leave a comment in a video saying who you are and why you like their videos. I mean, obviously don't make it too over the top and creepy, like, hey guys, my name's Billy Smith, I'm 15, I was born in Swindon. I've also met a lot of my friends at YouTube-based events. If it weren't for Summer in the City, I wouldn't have met Charlotte and Libby and Rob and Olivia and so many others. If you're not able to get to an event, it's not necessarily a worrying thing, but gatherings and events are just absolutely fantastic for going out and meeting new people and showing everyone else what you do. Obviously, these are just a few ways of talking to people, and there are so many more.
One thing that I do a lot on YouTube is I look at people's featured channels. So that's when you go onto somebody's YouTube channel and you click their channels and they have this whole list of feature channels which are usually their friends, or if they're a smaller YouTuber, other smaller YouTubers. I love the featured channels because for me it's a chance to showcase the friends that I have that make videos that are really, really overlooked.
Comment on people's videos, not excessively, but try to get yourself out there, or continuously pester bigger YouTubers to put a link to your YouTube channel. I don't do that.
The best tip really is to be approachable and friendly and ask questions and be consistent.
Join YT Talk. YT Talk is a great place in terms of interaction. When it comes to dealing with people on YouTube and I guess any questions that you have, like you can introduce yourself, you know, post milestones, post your newest video there, and talk to some of the other people, you know, give them advice and stuff, like if their cameras aren't working, or like if people need help with getting music or getting graphics or whatever. That's what I encourage, is to go to YT Talk, because there you can pretty much do all of that. There's not one place yet that I found that you can do that, and with YT Talk you can.
I've met different people at gatherings, made friends, did that, and that's how I got more subscribers.
Find a niche.
Find out what's popular, and then
Yeah.
and then you can literally like dive into that.
Yeah, find out what's popular and
See what's topical on the internet, and then record a video about that, and then that's basically how you can start off weekly vlogging.
Comment a lot, leave a lot of comments, not like ridiculous amounts of spam comments, but leave comments, because you know, like if you make videos personally, you know, when you get a comment and you're like, oh that's so cool, that's so lovely, I feel great now that someone's commented on my video. Everyone feels like that, so if you leave a comment on someone else's video, then they're gonna feel the same way. So do the thing, spread the love everywhere, but not in a weird way.
Be friendly, be nice, which is the same thing. Just talk to everyone, just treat them as a friend, even if you don't know them, just treat them as a friend. Just don't be a dick, really.
Community is a fantastic thing for the development of you on YouTube, but how can we answer the title question? Are success and community on YouTube actually linked? How so? Well, I think it really does depend on what sort of content you're trying to achieve. If you're only doing YouTube for fun, I think that numbers really don't matter, and if you're trying to be professional, then you should really aim for a higher up number of people to come and watch your stuff, and that does mean getting involved in a community. Although even if you don't want to try your hand at producing a short film or just a simple video, not even any content whatsoever, it really does help to have a friend on the site. If you can discuss your opinion on the latest social media event gossip thing, or explain why the latest It's a Me Milio video stood out to you, then you can really feel like you're part of something. So what do you think? Is community actually important in part of your success? I've done my part, but now it's your turn. With the massive opinions that are available online, you will probably find someone somewhere that can completely clash against everything that I've just said. Got an opinion or simply want to argue with me about a point in the comments? Go for it. I really look forward to reading and seeing all the different aspects and opinions that you have to share. The best thing about community I find is, and even though it's really cheesy and an awful way to end the video, is that community literally puts you right in the middle.